Episode 58. Call me, honey. Jade accepted Daria's request and added, "All right, honey, let's go." Daria kissed Jade on the cheek and carried her into the car. He opened the door carefully and put his hand on her head. He was afraid that she would hit it on the car, so he held her with one hand. He fastened her seatbelt and walked to the driver's seat. Amelia saw how Jade and her new man were, and the jealousy in her eyes deepened. Her skin, which was covered with delicate makeup, became a little twisted. "I'm really unlucky. I didn't expect to meet her." Miss Stevens' voice was a little low. At that moment, aside from disgust, there was hatred in her eyes. But her hatred didn't only come from Jade. It also came from Jade's mother, the woman who disappeared 15 years ago, Charlotte Ray. "Amelia, what are you looking at? We still have to buy things." Mrs. Stevens looked at Amelia, who was staring off into space and feeling quite strange, as if she had lost her soul. Amelia suddenly turned around, jumped happily, and held her mother's hand. "Mum, you didn't even look. That man is so handsome. He is even more handsome than those celebrities on TV. I think I have met the man I was destined for." Amelia pretended to be infatuated. Mrs. Stevens was stunned at first, but then she advised, "Daughter, what does that mean? Didn't you see Jade call him a little slut just now? Call him hubby?" Daria's car had already left, but Daria's beautiful figure kept appearing in her mind. Her heart had also left with him, and her eyes were filled with love. She felt something in her heart that she had never felt before. "I don't care that he is that slut hubby. As long as I like him, I will find a way to get what I want. Could it be that your daughter isn't as good as that little slut? I am prettier and richer than her. I believe that he would definitely fall in love with me." Amelia narrowed her eyes and immersed herself in her beautiful fantasy. She really wanted him to hold her in his arms. But when she thought of Jade leaning in his arms and calling him hubby, coldness and endless jealousy instantly appeared in her eyes. Amelia didn't understand how Jade, that chicken, could be worthy of such a handsome person. Mrs. Stevens sighed helplessly and said indifferently, "Whatever you want, as long as you're happy. Let's go, Mum. We'll go buy something." Amelia pulled Mrs. Stevens, and they went in. There was a smile on Amelia's face as the first trace of a scheme flashed across her eyes. Dario, who was driving the car, had coldness in his eyes. When he asked for the area to be cleared, he meant for all the people within a 10-mile radius to clear out. He wanted no one to approach them. He absolutely couldn't let anyone from the Stevens family meet with Jade. "Let's go eat." Dario slowed down the car. His eyes quickly became much gentler, and there was even a trace of love in them. "Dario, let's go to the market to get some food. It's too expensive to go out all the time, and it's not healthy," Jade said. She reminded him that day they had already bought a new home and furniture. Those expenses were already big enough. She wanted to save some money. It was just that she didn't consider it at all. When she brought up the market, Dario seemed a little embarrassed. He really didn't know where the market was. "What did you call me just now?" Dario's eyes suddenly changed and looked confused. Sometimes he stared at the traces on her neck. As long as he saw the mark, he would be in a good mood. "Dario, no, it was when you were at the gate of the furniture. What did you call me?" Jade blushed and immediately changed the topic. "Well, Dario, let's go buy some vegetables. I'm hungry." "Call me hubby first, and then I'll bring you to buy some vegetables. Otherwise, we'll go out and eat," Dario said in a domineering tone. Jade covered her face and looked extremely shy. "I was just putting on an act in front of the others," she said. She wondered why he took it seriously. "I'm waiting for you to make a decision. If you don't want to say it, let's eat at this restaurant." Dario pointed at a steak shop on the side of the road with a cunning look in his eyes. Jade looked at it and was shocked. She knew at first glance that it was very high-end. Eating there would be very expensive, and she didn't want him to spend so much money. But in the end, she admitted defeat. She nervously pulled at her skirt and lowered her head. In a very quiet voice, she stuttered out one word. "Hubby." Dario didn't say anything. It wasn't obvious whether he was happy or worried. "Hubby, Is that loud enough? Jade called out. Although it was quiet, it was a little louder than the first time. If only it was louder. Dario had a smile in his eyes. He quickly kissed her face. He knew it was not easy for her to do this, so he did not force her. Let's go, I'll take you to the supermarket. Then he brought her to the biggest supermarket in Washington to choose ingredients. When they were in there, men snuck glances at Jade from time to time, and women kept staring at Dario. Even the sales assistants were shocked. They wouldn't have expected to see such a handsome man and a beautiful woman together in the supermarket. It was simply pleasing to the eye. Dario, what do you like to eat? Jade was focused on shopping and didn't notice that the men around her were secretly looking at her. Whenever Dario found that someone was looking at his wife, his eyes became very scary and cold. He would deliberately hug her waist and cover her face to prevent them from looking at her. Eventually, they no longer dared to look. Dario, what's wrong with you? I can't walk like this. Jade shyly looked at the hand on her waist and twisted it. I will like whatever you choose. Oh, are you done shopping? Let's go, Dario said. Not so soon. Let's buy more so we don't have to come back soon. Dario didn't listen to her. Instead, he pushed the cart to get the bill, but he didn't forget to hold her hand. No need, let Lucas buy it next time. Isn't he the driver? He does everything. Dario thought highly of Lucas. He was Dario's driver, bodyguard, and secretary. He was good at everything. Dario could even get Lucas to block those girls for him at a critical moment. Jade also felt it was unbelievable how much Lucas did. And you give him $300 a month? I think it's not easy for him. Dario couldn't help but smile. He didn't expect his little wife to be so kind. Then I will give him a raise next month. Giving him $300 a day plus thousands in pocket money would not be easy. Before the bill was paid, Dario quickly grabbed 2 items and put them in the cart. Jade didn't see clearly and went to look in the shopping cart out of curiosity. When she saw what he had just taken, she was shocked. It was as if she was holding a box of reptiles. Why did you buy those? Jade's face quickly turned red, making the men beside her pay more attention to her.